If you're voting based on that, and it's like, oh, I've got to vote for Kamala because I'm gay, what exactly are you trying to secure with that vote?
I mean, people are honestly voting for her just because she's a black woman.
Which would be okay if she was actually black.
Because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Yeah, that's the sad thing, because a lot of people, I've heard black people say, I even voted for Obama because he was black. But when I come to find out his policies, they're like, man, this guy, what the
There's Grind Across Podcast, Elevated Edition, OT. We got Joey here.
What up, y'all?
And we got special guest. I think everyone knows him by now. David.
He's not a guest, man. He's pretty much
part of the crew now.
Yeah.
What's going on, Dave? What you up to, man?
Not too much, man. Appreciate you guys having me back.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's always a good time when you're here, like having someone that knows what they're talking about.
Or at least acts like they do.
Yeah. What's been going on with you?
Working, hoping it'll get a little busier.
Yeah.
The economy sucks.
It is. It slows down every, this
the
time
election.
of the year.
Yeah.
Election especially, year. Everything slows down.
I feel like between inflation and then the people that do have money are nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like nobody's spending money.
They're going to hold on to that money until they see who gets voted in.
Well, we don't know if we're going to get COVID round 2.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Black Lives Matters round 2. Or, what the fuck's going to happen. I mean, you don't know.
You don't know that. And so it's wise for people to put themselves at standstill and just wait to see what's going to happen.
Cautious with their money, yeah.
Especially nowadays because inflation is real.
Oh, I mean, if you buy anything, you know what's going on. I mean, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's not stopping. There's no slowing down.
No, every day it seems like it just keeps going up and up.
And I don't think people really don't talk about. I mean, there's people talk about inflation, but they don't talk about how rapidly it continually.
I think some people think it makes them look broke if they talk about it.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, bro, we're all fucking feeling this.
Yeah.
You can mention that shit's expensive. That's not acting like you're broke. We're all fucking hurting.
Especially middle class. I mean, everyone's feeling it the same when it comes to
everything's
groceries.
twice as much.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I mean, I literally dread taking my kids to do stuff. And that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I make pretty decent money, but I'm still like, I don't want to take them all to the movies. I don't want to fucking go buy that. Because, I mean, stuff's expensive.
It does.
Going out to eat.
Going out to eat now is like...
Well, I always tell people, if you pay attention, especially lunch specials, you're going to pay the same as lunch special, say at Samurai, that you'll pay at McDonald's.
Oh, dude, eating fast food is just the same now as whatever. I mean,
so you're better off going to a restaurant to dine in.
You can sit down at Chili's for the same thing you can go to a fast food place.
Yeah, and I don't think people have caught on to that either. It's just
no.
I mean,
what I've noticed with my crowd is I feel like a lot of people come later, and I think they do that because they don't want to run out of money and have to go home. So we sit there and look at each other till about 11:30, and then it's like we open. That makes for a good time.
Yeah,
people are at home probably pre-gaming and shit already. They're
I mean, it's not everybody, but a lot of people. I know they've got less money. They're on a budget, and everything's expensive. So,
some of them probably wait to put their kids to sleep and then go.
It's the same people that were coming earlier for the last 10 years that come late now. Though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and speaking of inflation, man, we're in the middle of the elections and everything. So what do you? We know who you're voting for, of course.
Dude, I mean,
trying to get paid.
I own a business.
We know who you're voting for.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah.
And this is the thing. I'm not like one of those people that's like, oh God, Trump was sent here by God to deliver us from the no. But I mean, if you've got to pick, I mean, at least some of the shit he says makes sense. I mean, I don't even see how you could read off the list of the Democrat stuff and be like, yeah, I love that. I love nobody having a job. I love just flooding the country with illegals. I love inflation. I love not being able to, buy stuff. I mean, that's crazy.
To me, it is crazy because all people have to look at is what we've been through.
What's even nuttier, though? The people that vote that way, they basically do it based off, I'm gay, I feel like I'm oppressed, and I want to be able to have any baby ripped out of me at any goddamn given moment, at any time. Yeah. I don't just want to be able to not have this baby, but I'd like to kill it like the day of. Like, if I have it that day, I'd like to be able to kill it. It's like they're on that fucking level with this shit. And it is insane to me that you vote for everything we do based off like one issue.
Correct. I think that is a big problem. That's very true.
To me, I don't understand. I mean, if you're gay, you're going to be gay no matter who wins. And I feel like gay people have come so far along in the last 20, 30 years. Like, what the fuck do you still want?
Yeah,
Right.
no,
Like, what are you voting being gay about? Like, what the
Fuck
fuck are they
yeah,
going to
like-
do for you all that they haven't already done?
correct.
Yeah.
I mean, what's left?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
make
I
the rest
know-
of us have to be gay? I mean, like,
and
what,
I know
what
you
the
don't-
fuck's left?
And I know you mean that from just an honest, genuine, good
Bro,
place.
I think a
It's
lot
not-
of people know that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they don't say it, but they know it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like a lot of people I know that are gay, they fucking know that. I mean, if you're my age and you're gay and you live back how things were till now, how could you possibly still be upset?
Fuck yeah. There's
I mean, you have come
You
a
got
million miles.
bottom in that.
You know what I'm
road
saying?
here.
Like, what in the fuck could you possibly be mad about?
Yeah.
What is your gripe? What's missing that you didn't get? You know what I'm saying? I don't get that.
Yeah,
Facts.
and that is true. Now, I want to know what people think about that too, because there's nothing hateful. It's nothing.
Nah, man, listen,
anything-
I'm not homophobic.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
give a fuck
I know,
about none of
us
that.
are.
I
Correct.
just, as a person on the sideline observing this, it's like, what do you all even want though?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And people leave us comments. Let us know what y'all think about that.
Hell yeah, because I know there's a lot that are probably like, oh, fuck that, you
Yeah.
know, but hey, shit. You're allowed to have your own opinion, you know
I'm
what I'm
not
saying? Like,
anti-gay. I'm just like pro reality here. Like, what if you're voting based on that? And it's like, oh, I've got to vote for Kamala because I'm gay. Like, what exactly are you trying to secure with that vote? Like, what's left?
I mean, people are honestly voting for her just because she's a black woman.
Which
They
would be okay
say-
if she was actually black.
Yeah.
well,
She's-
which
Dude,
of course,
I
I
mean,
think everyone
Indian.
knows
They
that.
hyped it up that she
Yeah.
was the first Indian woman senator.
Facts.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
know,
I mean,
yeah,
that's out
and
there.
there-
That's
and
not
there-
like
yeah,
my
there's-
opinion.
there's-
That's out there.
There's
Said it,
clips
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
about that.
Well, and her parents, I mean, her dad was from India. I think
Jamaican.
So well, they lived in Jamaica,
Yeah,
but he was
Jamaica.
from
He
India.
was from
I mean,
India. Yeah.
listen, if you're
I
from
know,
India and you live in Jamaica, you're not Jamaican.
Yeah, correct.
You're an Indian
Yeah,
that
if you're-
lives in
If
Jamaica.
you're
Just
from
like we're
California,
If you're Indian and you lived in Jamaica for 3 generations, you're Jamaican.
Fuck yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
let's not kid ourselves about who's what.
Correct.
If you
Yeah.
moved here, you're still whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the sad thing because a lot of people I've heard even black people say, like, I even voted for Obama because he was black. But when I come to find out his policies and shit, they're like, man, this guy what the fuck? Like crazy ass policies that he pushed and the shit. Even when you look at it, you're like, damn,
Hey.
he wasn't worth the fuck.
I mean, name one thing he did for black people. I mean, if his whole claim to fame was I'm black,
yeah, that's
what
it.
exactly did he do? I mean, he did nothing.
Not at all.
I mean, not that any of the other ones ever do either, but like, what did he do?
yeah.
dropped a lot of bombs, dropped a lot of fucking,
Yeah, and I don't see who would want the second go around with.
Well,
with
I mean, this is the thing
with this
too.
party.
If I'm not saying here like, oh, Trump's wonderful, but Trump doesn't want us to have to fight Russia and Ukraine. Trump
think-
doesn't want to fight China.
And I think everyone could agree with that. Every
yeah.
American could agree.
yeah, I mean,
It's not that we're scared of war or don't necessarily want it, but why would we want it? Our country's been at war the past.
and I think some people are really ignorant of facts. Like
Yeah.
Ukraine was part of Russia. Okay, if Florida broke off from us and then we ended up getting into it with Florida a few years down the road, I don't think the rest of the planet needs to come get in the middle of that. That's between us and them.
Yeah,
And that's how I see Ukraine and
Yeah.
Russia. They were Russian. They can, they can handle that. And however it goes, it
They'll hash
goes.
it out.
and I think it would be equivalent to like Texas,
Yeah, I mean, if we broke
Going
off, I mean, that's between us and them.
And
That's not.
that's the closest possibility is Texas doing that.
Always could succeed.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't surprise me if down the road one of the states does that.
The way this country's going and where it's headed. I mean,
I think the global agenda is not for the United States to be the main country like it used to be. And I think to do that,
yeah, I think that's,
to do that, they'll sever us into 2 or 3, pieces. That way it's not one country.
That's true.
I mean, I can see
that's,
that.
That's a good way to look at it because like you said, the other countries that are ahead of us in technology
But they were
and
placed
other
there.
resources.
What? Listen, the people that make all these decisions live in Europe. They own all the banks, and they don't give a fuck about this country or any other country.
Hell no.
And I feel
Yeah,
like
we're-
America
yeah,
had its
we're-
time.
we're pretty much a
They've
tenant.
pretty much used us up,
Yeah,
and they're ready for somebody else like China or somebody to get to be
or
the guy.
even
And the
Russia.
thing is, they love China because China's got all their citizens like just locked in step. I mean, nobody over there is raising hell or saying anything. They're just, yes, sir. I'd love to have my phone on. Thank you. I'd love to be able to buy groceries today. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd love to have more than 2 kids.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you're told over there.
One boy, one. I think it's China. I think you only have one boy, one girl.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, forever and ever they did that.
Yeah, they did that.
It's fucking
back
crazy.
And a lot of them, they would get us into camps for like
I heard like some
for
Olympics
sports,
and shit.
Olympic people.
Listen,
I mean,
China
all
still
sorts
treats
for,
all.
They send them all for trades to go do trades. And
Listen, if you live in
that's what
China
they study for.
and you're Muslim or you're any kind of minority group, they will throw your ass in a labor camp, and that's the end of it. There's no like being a minority and we're going to go protest and represent our 1%. No. You're going to go make tennis shoes in that camp.
Yeah,
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's like people say you don't realize how good we got it.
Get back to the Sheen camp. Looking at
Yeah, Temu. I'm over here at Temu camp.
Yeah, the Temu one too. That's Pete made.
But not speaking of that, do y'all not see how all the fake stuff looks so real too nowadays?
The
Well,
videos.
I'm going to tell you what. I think a lot of that stuff that's like big brand stuff, it's already made in China.
Yeah,
And if they just go ahead and they say, you know what, fuck Nike, fuck Gucci, we're just going to send it straight around
yeah,
to the consumer and cut. Okay, we had a kid make it for $1. You know, a 9-year-old made this pair of shoes for $1. We can cut out Nike or whoever and send it right to the consumer for say $60. That's a third what they were going to pay, and we made all the money.
yep,
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what you've got going on. I'm not saying there's not some shitty knockoffs, but there's also some knockoffs that
nowadays,
I really think
Look real.
are the real thing that
Yeah.
you're just not getting them through Nike or through, you know,
Straight
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
because
goes
all that
back
shit's
to-
made over there.
Hell yeah.
I think in my opinion, I think everything that China does, everything that they do, that as a whole, as a country, as a people, everything that they do towards the U.S. is all like they planned everything.
Oh, it's
like,
100%.
down to like even that hurts our economy. At the end of the day, it does hurt those companies, those businesses. They lose millions, if not billions,
Oh, for sure.
from that. So, and they know that's the people they
They
want to
don't
hurt. At the end of the day, they want to hurt them one way or the other. You know, it might not hurt them much, but over time,
Bro.
Yeah, over time,
We wouldn't even ever have heard of fentanyl if China didn't send
exactly.
it out.
Yeah.
Okay, China
And
knows what they're doing.
I've always said that. That's to me is that's what's bullshit about Mexico or the Mexican cartels getting blamed. Yes, now they figure out their own way from say a chemist in China came to Mexico and showed, all right, well, look, I'm gonna show
Cut
you
it with
how,
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you how to make
Which-
fentanyl.
And I don't think one bit of that ever gets up here if our CIA doesn't allow that.
Yeah, and
I mean,
of
because
course.
I really am a firm believer that you don't have drugs in every town in this country at any given time unless that's controlled. It's not just that it just happened to work out and there's any drug you want any fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean, because Walmart, Taco Bell, they can't even keep a continuous supply chain at all times. They run out of shit. But man, drugs in this country, you pretty much get anything
that's
you want
crazy.
full fucking time.
Yeah.
They don't ever run out. So if you stop and you really think about it,
There is times, not compared to, again, 10, 20 years ago, there used to be droughts in drugs.
you don't really hear that now.
But and you're right. But because the market is so huge,
Supply and demand.
supply and demand. I
Yeah,
mean,
that demand is there, so they're keeping the supply.
Because the cartels in Mexico, they've even moved down into Colombia to set up to where they're more right next to the man that's
They're grabbing the cocaine right off the side of the hill. They're not waiting on somebody to send it to them. Yeah,
and they're working, transporting it from there to Mexico. So it used to be just Mexico, Colombians. For the longest, everyone always thought, Mexicans, cocaine will. People know it comes through. They don't grow it in Mexico.
It's all coming out of like Bolivia,
all coming
Colombia and all that.
South America. And, now, though, it is on the bigger scale to where everyone knows, where exactly it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And they know, too. I mean, it's just marketing, really. They don't have to do no marketing like we as a people that use, I don't say we because I don't use no shit like that, but, people that consume, they're the ones doing their marketing for them. I mean,
oh no, it's out there. Yeah, you don't need a commercial to remind you that hey, there's a cocaine.
And everyone knows
want
about
some.
cartel. Everyone is intrigued by the cartel stories or just the stories
They
of that nature.
glamorized it.
Yeah, and so that's why again their marketing is just going up and up. And that's why it's just so much bigger now than what it used to be. Like you say, there's no droughts. Just they don't have trouble getting shit in. Yeah, gotta get caught with 20 kilos, and there's probably 30 more coming right behind him.
Yeah.
And that's almost at every single border, no matter where, you know.
Well, I mean, you've got so many people trying to do that because I think the last 50 years, people have realized, hey, I'd like to get rich. How can I do that?
Yeah.
1 in a billion chance I invent something and I don't get it stolen from me and I actually get the profit from it. Or I can go try to sell some drugs, and if I play it right all the way up, I'm the guy and I'm rich.
True.
Everyone has a family member in their family that's drug user,
Drug seller,
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone, it doesn't matter. Black, Mexican, white,
Asian.
Chinese,
Yeah.
Asian. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if you're a cop, lawyer, doctor.
Oh, you think
You
about
know.
how many lawyers are filthy rich off defending people that sell drugs.
Yeah.
You think about how many cops keep the fucking money and the drugs that they confiscate and make a chunk of money off that.
Heck yeah.
I mean, there's so much money flying around in the system. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't blame people. I mean, you can't blame people that want to, do it. I mean,
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like the city that I don't know if y'all seen that the other day, that the city said that some money disappeared. Like, oh, they don't know what happened to some money that they had.
yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, all of a sudden.
yeah, I mean, I can guess.
Yeah, money from the evidence room.
Hey, listen, I don't know if you guys have ever had a gun taken by the police and then tried to get it back. I've had it happen twice. And dude, you would think I'm asking them to give me a kilo of cocaine back. I mean, once they take something, they think it's fucking theirs.
Yeah,
I mean, like in that property,
Yeah.
and they don't give a fuck if you were in the right and it was proven right, and you go get an attorney, and the attorney's like, hey, man, you got to give the guy's property back. That's his gun. He didn't commit a crime with it. You took that wrong. You got to get, I mean, it is a fucking nightmare. I had this in Dallas and I had it here. The Dallas one was over some domestic violence stuff, and they seized every gun in my house. And then once up here, I had some people, I pulled a gun on in the parking lot. There had been an incident, and there was a bunch of guys, Mexicans. And when the cop got there, all he was concerned about was my pistol. He didn't give a fuck that one of the Mexicans had thrown a bottle at a girl and, almost hit her that was pregnant. I mean, it was a whole bunch of shit that, me
caused you to.
Yeah, it wasn't like
pull
I was
it
out
out.
there pistol whipping him. I hadn't shot anybody.
Yeah.
I just had detained them for a second.
Correct.
I mean, fuck, I thought that was the whole purpose of me having a gun.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Speaking of that, also it was on 635 in Dallas. There was a guy last week, man. He went. Did y'all see that? Where I don't know if he had an episode. I still haven't read on see if it was a medical episode or if it was drug induced episode. But this guy just started ramming cars. He got out, went and attacked another car, another lady, and another guy came with the pipe to fight him off that girl's car.
Yeah.
He has a knife, stabs the dude twice.
oh, okay, I didn't see this. But I saw
Another
Big-ass
text
knife.
dot worker comes. He pulls over. He gets out, tries to help to detain this dude, and this dude jumps in his truck, rams another car, then tries to run, then hits the text dot worker that came to help.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
then
see all that part.
a nurse gets out of her car. She's over there helping the text dot worker, and then he gets in her car and go in the circle. Poor lady ends up falling, and he catches her in her own vehicle, has her caught up under the front bumper, and man, it was on 635 in Dallas, and it was crazy. They end up detaining the dude. And grabbing the hold of him like another citizen, out of that. I think everyone survived. I think everyone survived though.
That's insane.
That is a good thing, but it's just like they said, like people say, like no, the look in his eyes were just like pure evil. But I don't know if it was something mentally, saying induced or just drugs, that.
Probably both.
But
Could be.
but I say that because, like you said, that's why you carry. That's for that exact same reason. Everyone in the comments when I seen that video were saying the same. I thought this video was in Texas.
Yeah.
Where's everyone's guns at? Where's everyone's guns at?
This is the thing. I carry a gun every night to work. There's probably been 50 times, give or take, in the last 17 years. I probably could have shot somebody and been totally justified. But who the fuck wants to do that?
Yeah, no.
I don't want to have to shoot somebody. I will,
Not.
but I don't want to have to
Yeah.
because if there's any way we can stay out of that, and I don't have to go get an attorney. I don't have to go in front of a grand jury. I don't have to answer. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck wants to kill somebody? Even if you could.
I mean, not everyone is, got a badge and is able just to.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. I'm not a cop. I don't get to act like she threw hot water at me so I can shoot her.
Yeah,
but
no, exactly. But yeah, but that situation, it was sad. Like, it wouldn't have got that far if I think somebody
would have just shot that fool.
Shot the dude. I mean, because
you didn't even have to murder him. You could just shoot him.
Well, I won't lie to you. I saw that clip not too long ago where somebody went down to the deep end and basically started acting an ass and flipping tables and tearing shit up.
Somebody standing on
and I'm
tables
thinking, yeah, we'd have had about 2 minutes of that at my fucking place.
Yeah,
but,
no facts. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fucked up world out there, man. I think a lot of people, I think it's fucked up for the people that sit there and watch shit like that happen and won't do shit, because there's a lot of cars are parked. And I understand you're not obligated to. You're not. No one's obligated to help a stranger that's getting attacked.
The sad thing is, we live in a society where they punish the person that tries to help.
Yeah.
You can feel like you're totally in the right, but then when the dust settles, you're fucked. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you a good example of that is the guy that went over to the movie theater the other day to catch his wife cheating, ends up getting shot, and now the police want to charge him. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
for endangering the children.
Well, goddamn, of course he had the kids. She was on a fucking date. I mean, he had the kids because he was watching them.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, that's just, I get it. If you don't do anything to the guy that was, the cheater that was with her. But I mean, you want to arrest the other guy?
And to me, like, something like that, that's reaching. To me, I call it reaching. Like, dude, you're fucking, like, reaching for a freaking charge, whatever you can. Did he beat the fuck out of the other guy and then he shot him? Because you're leaving that out. For God's sake, he already got shot.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if he beat the fuck out of this dude and then the dude shot him, you left that out.
Yeah.
Like, if that happened,
that's why I said, like, when we talked about it last week, to me, it was like, because to me, I'm against a motherfucker pulling a gun out when someone's trying to fight you. If someone's trying to fight you, fight the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's why I say it's like, well, was he threatened or something? Because it shows like he just showed up and went to the car, try to fight.
Pulled the gun and shot him.
They fought and he got his ass whooped. No, they say he like pretty much tried to fight him and he shot him. Was like,
and they said it was accidentally.
That didn't really sound like you defended yourself. That just sounds like you were like, oh, you want to fight?
Yeah. And to me, I don't care if someone says, oh, I'm gonna kill you when I see you, this and that. When you deal with people on the level like that, if you're beefing with someone, you deal with someone, you know who you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. You're going to know if this fool's really a killer or not. Yeah. So, whether he's talking out of his ass or not, you're going to know. So, therefore, you as a person, you're going to know, do your due diligence and, okay, well, yeah, you know what? He says he's going to kill me. You know what? I really believe him because I've seen this fool do some crazy shit or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then you're going to know, stay you're strapped and ready. But if you know there's like half these motherfuckers around here that talk out their ass and
never done anything to anybody, that's totally different.
You know those people. And that's another thing that a lot of people, because people hang out with anybody these days and they're like, oh yeah, and they're best friends but literally, this fool's like a total fucking fraud. Like motherfuckers living a whole different life, try to portray a whole different life than what he either grew up as or what he is now. I mean, yeah, there's some people that accept that and they're like, cool with that person, but like most, there's people like that you keep away for a reason, and it's for shit like that.
So they were pretty young too. I think 23, 22 or some shit too. So I'm like, damn, bro, they ain't talking about fighting. These little young motherfuckers don't want to fight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They want to fucking. I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy that was getting cheated on, hell yeah, he want to beat your ass, but
he got cheated on. He got shot. Now he's looking at me
in front of his kids.
Yeah, in that thing in front of his kids. I mean,
I'd be mad as fuck.
I'm sure that guy's going through. It sucks for anybody to have to go through all that shit because now you're only dealing with that, but your kids are involved. You're married.
CPS
you're going
is
through,
involved.
I mean, it's just a whole bunch of.
You're on crutches.
Go pick up your kids.
They took his gun, and I guarantee they don't give it back. I mean, there's all kinds of shit.
Shit like that, man. It's just wild though. I think people these days need to realize that shit. You could fight. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, you're gonna live, fight another day.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing.
Catch that fade, young motherfucker. Don't be scary.
Yeah. But yeah, so on the election, did you see who's ahead in the poll so far?
Man, I was watching that, and you cannot tell me for 1 second that Kamala Harris is polling ahead of him or even close to him. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, she got primaried last time and was like in 15th place. I mean, she polls terribly. I've never heard one person that claims to be a lifelong Democrat, talk about, oh, Kamala, and brag on her. I mean, everything she's supposed to have dealt with during this administration turned to shit.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't see how there's any possible way anybody can believe that. I mean, I think all this shit's rigged, though. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, I think both sides are controlled by the same people. I think all the polling, the elections, everything is put on. I think that is all fixed. I think the fix is in. It doesn't matter. I mean, do I vote? Yes. I feel like I can't just quit. I can't just say, well, fuck it, I'm not going to participate. I play along with the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's tough to believe we have a real honest, election, and it's just fucked up the way they do the whole thing.
Yeah, past couple of years, I think a lot's been exposed. A lot of
and
eyes
I think it's
open.
been that way a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think finally, though, people are just starting to realize, hey, this is really fucked up.
Yeah, I started realizing with Barack. I think the majority of my generation started realizing that.
Well, the first election for him, I'm sure everybody turned out big for that.
Oh,
his re-election, though, they were trying to hype it up and act like they didn't have the fucking camera shots to prove. I mean, there was like nobody lined up to vote like the first time. Yeah. Where used in the big cities, and that's the thing too. People are like, oh, the vote. It's only a handful of cities that control the whole thing. And if you can tamper with those cities with the election, you fix the whole election. Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you stop and you look at, okay, where do they do that at? They do it in like Philadelphia. They do it, in all the big cities where it's, it's urban. It's a lot of minorities.
New York.
And you can't question that shit. If you're tampering with the vote, you're suppressing the vote, you're a racist. I mean, there's so much shit and rhetoric that gets thrown in instead of stepping back and being like, hey, was the vote count right or not? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I remember last time when Trump was going crazy saying they cheated him, there was a thing where they found boxes and boxes and boxes of votes sitting, in a fucking UPS truck behind one of the fucking precincts in Philadelphia. Every fucking vote in there was for Biden. Now, you cannot tell me every single person in a precinct voted for Biden. Even if they wanted to, some fucking idiot's going to go in there and hit the wrong goddamn button. So there's no way you're getting 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just
like a perfect score.
Yeah, I mean, I watch people at my club use the vending machine. They if they fuck that up, I can imagine when they vote.
Yeah. No, that's very true. I mean, that's just something that, I mean, we got to brace for, whatever.
It's just tough because it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't want to give up. Like me, I don't want to just say, hey, this shit's fucked. They're just going to do whatever they want to us, and I'm just at their mercy. I'd like to pretend there's still hope.
Yeah, there's still a chance.
Somebody's going to make the country better. Somebody's going to get the economy going. But it just seems like year after year, it gets worse every year.
That recession's coming, man. That's
to me, if people really care about, say, their kids, number one, their kids, the future, it's obvious who the fuck can vote for. I mean, to me, because it comes down to now, like you said, it comes down to what you're voting for is to continue the roller coaster we're on, which is going to fucking get worse, or have some hope that shit could get better for us and go back to what it should be. Okay. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. That's why to me now I'm just like, no, dude, it's just like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of paying these, grocery bills and, what's, everything else. So how come everyone else ain't really thinking like that? Because
you want to feel like, hey, I can have a future. I can plan to retire. Mm-hmm. My kids are going to be okay. They're going to at least have a chance.
Yep.
But, it just seems like at every twist and turn, it's like, hey, let's just go fight with China. Hey, let's go fight Russia.
Let's give Israel billions of dollars.
Yeah, let's give everybody on the planet billions of dollars to where the dollar's worthless and it collapses one day. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, what the fuck are they doing?
And that's why I go back. Why can't people see that? I mean, what's so hard
I don't think
to
most
see
people want to even think about the stuff we're talking about.
Nah.
I mean, a lot of people don't want to participate at all. They don't even want to hear about Biden, Trump, anything news related. They're just like, la, la, la. I just want to play PlayStation. I want to see what's on Netflix. I want to get fucked up. I don't give a fuck. Then you got a chunk of people that act like they follow shit. They watch news for about 5 or 10 minutes a day. They can relate to whatever big event fucking happened. They'll believe everything they're spoon-fed from the media. They won't stop and critically think about any of it.
Yeah, or
they won't ever
research.
stop and be like, well, fuck, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would we do that? They don't ever think like that. They just pick a side, and that's my team. I love Trump. I love Biden or Obama or whoever the fuck they run.
They don't research anything about that.
No, they don't even want to know.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is
And then
sad.
you've got a small ass percentage of people that pay attention. They read everything they can. They pay attention. They think about this shit. And then when they talk about it, it's like everybody was like, God, you're fucking nuts. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're crazy. I'm like, my bad. Sorry, I thought about that a little bit and then talked about it. It's crazy.
Did I say that out loud? My bad.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
I mean, my opinion, Trump's gonna win.
If they don't kill him.
No
If-
shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we witnessed them
if
trying
they
to kill
don't-
him. I
they
think,
don't cheat.
Then-
There's
listen,
going to be fraud.
they were going to assassinate his ass on TV in front of everybody here a few weeks ago. And I mean, that was,
They
I feel like that was a sanctioned, like they got the green light on that hit. They allowed that to happen. I mean, did you see his Secret Service that day? I mean, it's a bunch of fat chicks. That, I mean, it looked like it looked like a fucking bad comedy. Like where, you know what I'm saying? Where you just got a bunch of chicks pretending to be Secret Service agents that are like single moms and, they're just doing the, I mean, it was like,
they couldn't holster their gun.
yeah,
right
I mean,
and
man,
everything. She's like,
it's nothing against single moms or fat chicks, but I mean,
Like, nah,
goddamn,
you gotta be
if you
ready.
can't holster your gun and
you mean tell me there's no one else out there in Secret Service that
Nobody.
could have been there to protect
There's not a 6
Trump,
foot
I mean-
2, 6'3" guy out there, and this is.
I mean, I always thought that was elite. I always
That's-
thought you had to
yeah.
be like a badass
because
to
you're
get
right.
into that.
That's why
Big-
like the people we see on TV on these movies and shit.
No,
when they're playing
used to it
Secret
was like
Service.
I was a Navy SEAL, then I
There
became
you go.
Secret
Yeah.
Service. Not like
Fucking ex-Navy, Ranger, Army Ranger or some shit.
I used to run the daycare and I decided to become.
yeah,
Secret
no
Service
shit. I've got
agent.
3 kids, and my husband left me, and I said, "Fuck it, I'll be in the Secret Service."
Yeah,
She's like, I had a pastry shop.
Yeah, I mean that shit was insane. And then when you also look at how all that went down that day and what all they told people to stand down, they told people not to shoot yet, they told the regular police to take over that area, even though that town had 8 cops. I watched a fucking video on it. That town had 8 police officers. Why you would even ask those 8 police officers to participate in a town that small? I mean, that's not like a big city police department that has like a SWAT team and all that. That's just a little podunk fucking town that's got 6 or 7 local kids that get to be a cop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Burning.
not the same shit.
It's like fucking burning and shit. Like,
And
bro,
Yeah, I mean, it's just, hey, I know him. He used to play football here. He's a cop now. It's that shit. It's not like, hey, this guy was in the military and he came back and he's part of the SWAT team. And, it's not those
the
guys.
most that worried me is the people that were yelling at the cops saying, "Hey, there's a guy on the roof. Hey, there's a guy." I mean, it was just one person
And then-
yelling. It was a handful of people, women and guys
Well, I
like,
watched-
"Hey,
I watched
like,
the
there's a
thing.
guy up there," and they're
Screaming
talking
that
each other.
shit, yeah.
And they say that they were telling the officers right there, and they weren't
were
doing
just
nothing
like-
about it. So
Well, they had been told to stand down. That's what I saw. I saw you had the regular police, you had the state police, and then you had the Secret Service that was all there. And and none of them were in communication with each other.
yeah, I did.
I
did
saw
see
that.
I did
Nobody's
see that.
talking to anybody. There's no communication. And then, like you said, they had told the regular police to stand down. So then when even they see the guy, they don't go ahead and kill him or detain him.
Yeah,
And then they wait till basically, okay, well, he did go ahead and shoot a couple times. Let's kill him. And then done.
yeah, because there was a video of the sniper, I think, where he looks like after the shooting, he looks in his thing and then like he's waiting for them to say, yeah, like shoot. And he's just like, and then he finally shoots. And
Well,
I'm
I
like,
saw a thing
well, what
where
the fuck,
supposedly
bro? Like,
one of the cops goes up on the other guy's shoulders and looks up on the building and sees him. He sees him and then turns back around and takes the shot. And that's when he fucking missed.
that's probably why he missed.
Yeah. Which is crazy when you think about that.
Yeah, Trump was like, man, he's after the next day, he was like, man, that immigration saved my life. He's like, because whenever I turned, I was looking at an immigration thing. And he said, so pretty much immigration
sign.
saved me. I was
That
like,
was a
bro,
sign.
this guy's a motherfucking fool. I was like, straight up.
But it's crazy too. If you look at how the media's, they don't talk about this. Like if somebody would have tried to kill Kamala Harris, we would have heard about this full fucking time.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, they would have been crying.
Night and day, You'd know everything and then some.
they'd
they'd have interviewed every
investigation.
person that had ever met this fucking kid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
She would've had a
You'd
neck
heard
brace
how
on.
he was a white supremacist and he was this and he was that. I mean, you'd have heard all that. You don't know shit about this kid. The only thing I've seen is like YouTube stuff where it's somebody basically trying to expose facts and it's just like suppressed.
Did you see that he was in a BlackRock commercial too?
Yeah.
That's
not suspicious at all.
Yeah. Oh, that's not weird, guys. Yeah. Yeah. No, to me that and then like how you were talking earlier about how his cell phone. Well, you talk a little bit about it.
I saw a thing where what they did is they got his cell phone and then they went ahead and looked at it and they could figure out who he had talked to and they can ping that to like what parts of the country he was talking to. And it was a guy basically right outside of the field offices in DC of the FBI. And he had talked to this person multiple times leading up. And the person had even like flown to him and gone back. I mean, so obviously there was some handler, you know what I mean, that was like preparing this guy that was telling him, hey, you know, you're doing this for the country. You know, I mean, I'm sure somebody was
weird, man.
Oh, some weird shit that.
Because even whenever they're in the what was it? They were freaking questioning the CIA and then they questioned the FBI too. They're like, yeah, I'd have to give it to my notes.
Well,
I have to get to my notes about
you know, there's a history of this though, because like Oswald was supposedly approached by somebody that was grooming him. Okay, the guy, I forget his name, that shot Martin Luther King, he was approached by someone that groomed him and said, hey, go get this gun, go do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a history of this shit. It's not like first time ever, you know.
Heck yeah, they find the people that ain't mentally capable of understanding and be like, hey, man, come do this. Yeah,
I'm sure they profile people and like,
Big
okay, he's
time.
got the right personality type. This guy's going to listen to what we tell him. He's going to do, you know, he's going to show up.
Watching his Google searches and
Yeah,
shit.
he has nothing else going on. There's no fucking girlfriend that he's going to back out because
no
of. I mean,
kids.
yeah. I mean, there's a profile to it that they want, that you fit all the criteria to be the dumbass that would do this.
And that's the CIA.
That's all of them. I mean, look,
I think CIA is the one.
Who's the
I
highest?
mean, ever
I think
since they killed Kennedy,
Does-
right in front of everybody on
Yeah.
TV, I think they told you that day, hey, this is what we do here.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. And then I've heard another story about that. Well, people's theory about that, and they're like, some people have a theory that the driver shot him, and
I've
they're
seen
like,
that.
oh, that it's a different video, and they said that the reason why the wife was trying to get, like, she was trying to get out of the car. They said
Because they were shooting in it.
yeah, and that's
Yeah,
why I
I've
was
seen-
like,
I know what you're talking
what?
about.
Like, it was a real crazy story, and some lady was like, no, I'm telling you, I seen the freaking video back then because she old lady. And she was like, I'm telling you that the driver must have shot him, but they
I'll tell you
did
what,
something to the video.
if you ever watch one of those conspiracy videos where they break it down the shooting and they show you that magic bullet and the way the bullet was supposed to travel all over that vehicle and keep pinging. If you watch that and you believe that, hey, whatever, good for you. Tell me wrestling's real too. But I mean, because fuck, you'd have to be a fucking idiot to watch that and actually watch it, pay attention and be like, now that bullet is supposed to have ricocheted 27 fucking times.
Yeah, everybody would have been dead in that shit.
Like what? But
At
a
least.
bullet's not going to do that anyway, though. It's not going to ricochet. It might
Fuck
ricochet
no.
once, maybe twice,
Yeah.
but like 20 times they'll just ping all over the thing.
Yeah.
It's the same bullet.
I guess
Never.
I guess they never got rid of that car, right? I guess we ain't never
all
seen
this
it.
kind of
There's no-
stuff. It's like they tell you what they want you to hear, and then they control what they ever show you after that. And then they set the scenario where if you keep trying to talk about it, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
See,
that's basically. And then if you really push, you can just disappear because there's lots of people that whistle blow on this kind of
Yeah,
shit,
man.
or that have evidence, and they just poof gone.
Fuck. No, that's like the guy that wrote The Pale White Horse. I don't know if you ever
Yeah,
heard
I know
about
exactly
that.
what you're talking about.
And they were talking about that. He even predicted how he was going to die.
Yeah, he knew they were going to kill
And he
him.
knew they were
He did,
going
yeah.
to, and boom, they did. On his front porch, he said, he's like, yep, cop.
Yeah, if you're at a high enough status and you talk about certain things, you put a hit on yourself.
yeah,
Basically,
target
you got a
on
target
you.
on you because
Yeah, everyone knows it. I mean,
Okay.
there's people that come out and speak that know, hey, after this, they're going to be a hit out on me or something. Well, say speaking, like Black Sam,
Nipsey's brother.
Nipsey's brother come out and confirmed everyone else's,
Yeah, I
theory
was
of
watching,
what really
some of it
happened.
yesterday. That shit's tight.
You don't think that he's going to get,
Oh, yeah, bro.
he's going to get shit by that, from
his
people.
hood.
Yeah, from his
well,
hood.
look at all this shit with Puff Daddy or P Diddy or whatever the fuck. Look at what else came out about him supposedly being involved in killing Tupac.
And then that other killing,
That
too.
they've been saying that now for a year openly. Nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing. He's not arrested. They went and it's almost like they went and raided his mansions just to see what he had.
Yeah.
Like, let's find out what video footage he had of who.
Yeah,
Then we'll decide if we prosecute this fucker or what we're going to do with him.
Yeah, and then that of course they probably called in the people that are handling that case of Tupac Shakur. They probably called them, or if not, they went to them like, hey, we got to take a look at this evidence.
And what's fucked up too, though? They didn't care. They didn't care when it happened.
No,
because it was a guy. It was one of the dudes that was like a crib or something, and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like we'll say with the Tupac, that whole theory, it's now just recently confirmed that they were right. It was that Orlando dude. It was
organized hit.
Yeah, like it was because they had gone into it, and it's just like I said.
P. Diddy paid somebody. Suge probably knew that was going to happen and just had to fucking take it, and
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Like that. That was one of those things that's always said and known since it happened. So, like you said, I mean, what took so long to actually charge somebody, or
they still haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Some of the conspiracy people I listen to, they're talking about. They're like, they think they know why Ben divorced J-Lo. They're like, because her ass got brought up in some of that murder. I guess the one
she
that
was
Shine
there for that. Yeah, when he killed that bodyguard.
Yeah, but so they're saying nah, it was really Puff. And even Shine talked about it later because he's already out.
Yeah.
And he's like, kind of just like tiptoeing around like, hey, whatever. But I think, like Ben must have heard something or found something out about, oh, bitch, you're what the fuck? And I married you? Oh, no. Like, I mean, that guy, I don't think he's an idiot. I think he's probably like heard something, was like, you know what, bitch?
Yeah.
I'm out.
I don't want mixed up in that shit. Yeah.
Don't want none of this shit with it. You know what I mean? Bad for business.
I mean, if she's a potential witness and you got other witnesses that have died, I mean, do you want, and you're already in a rocky relationship. Hey, you can go.
Bitch, peace.
I can fuck other celebrities. I'm good.
Yeah, but no, that interview was tight, man. I didn't get to finish all of it, but the stuff he was hitting on, it was definitely organized, like how they hit him.
Yeah,
because they didn't like some shit that he was doing. I guess he brought DJ Khaled to his fucking neighborhood, and they said that they didn't really like that shit. And I was like, well, what the fuck? Why? I mean, I don't.
Well, you got two things going. You got street shit going on with dudes that don't give a fuck about nothing but that.
Yeah.
Then you got people mixed in it that are multimillionaires who can finagle shit. And I guess when that collides, it's just a fucking mess. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you're a multimillionaire, but yet you hang out with dudes that really kill people.
Yeah.
Or at least can make one fucking phone call and somebody's dead. So
out there too, it's a lot of politics, especially when you got superstars coming in. Nipsey Hussle had other people above him, that were on the streets in the hood, that on the block, that felt like, oh, wait, you bring him, like, we didn't know about this. You didn't ask us, you didn't get okay from us.
I saw a thing about that on Facebook the other day. It was somebody basically saying if you want to do anything musically in Houston, you got to check in.
Yeah.
There's some certain people you got to check in with, and then you might have to grease them a little bit just to get the
Prince.
Okay to be there.
Yeah.
Jay Prince would probably be the one.
And I said that's always been a thing in California, though, always. And just recently started making a wave through, now in Houston and other cities that where people will say, you got to check in to be here, which, like I said, California's always been like that. And that's why it was one of those things.
It's kind of funny, too, because that's exactly 50, 60 years ago what the mafia was doing to people.
Mm-hmm.
The mafia was basically, oh, you want to have a business here? Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to come through here and do this? That's fine. Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah.
Oh, you want this guy to get elected in this local election? No problem.
Yeah.
Pay me.
Yeah.
And if not, fuck,
Just
That's
extorting
true.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, especially you're a rapper. I mean, because them rappers, they'll go to L.A. and they start recording. They want, with their shit on.
Well, the thing,
that's
too,
what,
if you're in that scene and let's say you go to Houston, there's probably a handful of places you're going to go in Houston as far as clubs. So they know that.
Yeah.
So fuck, it ain't like you're going to Houston and hiding out.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to try to go to this club or that club or, whatever, then fuck, they know where the fuck you're at. So you're better off paying than.
Yeah, you're a rap star and shit. It's like that.
And they pay for pretty much protection. I mean, whatever gang crew they go pay, well, they got their men out there, saying extra security or
watching you and shit. Yeah, helping out and shit.
So that whole thing with the whole Nipsey Hussle, I mean, and Black Sam could be coming out saying something because he knows that they can't touch him in the city because there's a whole lot of thing going on that Big U's been being marked out, telling that he can't go back to the hood and stuff. So
Yes,
that could be part of the reason why he's finally coming out and saying something. But he said in an interview, it got a lot of people talking about it, and they broke it down. You know, the whole video. He went and checked out the scene first, see who was all there, and then he left. They were on the red shirt, and then came back, and that's when he shot them. He said like the whole time, like he got sent to shoot Nipsey Hussle, like, and everyone speculated it was from Big U, and
somebody
it just comes
gave
down,
the okay on that,
to go handle that. And of course, because at the end of the day, they feel threatened by him, which he talked about that, and he talked a lot about that in one of his interviews at Nipsey before he died. That people are always going to feel threatened by someone else that's they see saying them doing big things or better things than they are.
He was making money, and he was liable to get on one of these and say any fucking thing, and that's a threat.
And they all came from the same place, and they're like, "Damn, how the fuck this fool?"
There's some egos involved, and then also probably just what does he already know that he might say?
Yeah. These days, there's a lot. There's too much egos, that at the end of the day, because everyone's trying to be famous, go viral, be the one with the most money, whatever it is.
Oh, man, I feel like the younger generation is obsessed with this. Like, I want my 15 minutes of fame on TikTok.
The lifestyle.
I want to be social media famous. Mm-hmm. They don't give a fuck what's really going on. They just, they care how they're seen.
Correct. Yeah. And they get fooled by everything else that they see, thinking.
My kids, if you'd say, hey, I'll give you $1 million in this bag, or I'll let you get on TikTok and go viral and have like 10, 15 million views. Guess which one they're picking every time?
TikTok videos,
yeah, I mean, it's insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is, man. Like TikTok created some crazy shit.
Oh, these kids are eating up with it. That's all they give a fuck is they want to all go viral and be like a influencer.
It's free at that. It's free. It's free to do.
But that's all they do.
Oh yeah,
they don't. I mean, it's funny too because I noticed like my kids don't watch TV of any kind. Mm-hmm. They're on that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's funny too because some song will come out that I feel like, okay, I've heard this at the club. My kids have probably never heard this. And then my 11-year-old's like singing it. If it comes on TikTok, knows all the words, she's, oh yeah, this has been on here. I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you exposed to on there?
Yeah,
but
see that's what TikTok's good for. I mean, like if you're a musician or something, you'll go viral quick as fuck with the music, man. Or just like people that show like how to do videos too. Like fuck, that's where I watch a lot of shit and I'm just like, what? Hold on. And TikTok will or like little tricks and shit that they got, like, oh yeah, look, try this or try that. Like, what the hell? Cooking little clips. But I mean, like I said, some of it's idiotic and then some of it's kind of, gives you information like the shit we're talking about now.
You're right.
A lot of the political shit.
The best ones on those cooking are where somebody's cooking and somebody else talks over them and makes fun of what the fuck they're doing or how dirty it is. Or those are great.
They did like what's called the duet or whatever.
You see that dude that cooks in his like trailer and shit? He's like some black guy. He's got his hands are all dirty as fuck, and he's like, yeah. And then I
think the guy's name's Christopher Johnson. It's a black guy. It's a comedian, and he's like looking through the blinds. Okay, acting like, and then it'll show the video of somebody cooking. He's acting like he's peeping through the blinds, watching, and then he's always talking, "Ooh, my stomach's bubbling," just watching it. All this bullshit. It's hilarious.
The commentary,
because he's making fun of like that's the nastiest shit I've ever seen. I can't believe they just did that.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok was a genius idea.
Fuck yeah, smart ass.
Well, and I saw a thing too where they were making a big thing about, let's get rid of TikTok because of China, when really it's because Facebook and them have been eclipsed by it. That TikTok just ran off and left that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my kids all look at me like, you're on Facebook?
Instagram?
You know what I'm saying?
Like, you still have Facebook?
Yeah, like what? You're on there?
Yeah, it's like when the Facebook first came out, MySpace started fucking...
Man, deteriorating.
Yeah.
Damn. And Tom just wanted to give us free speech. I seen the meme. Everybody's like, Tom just wanted to give you free speech, man. And we took it for granted.
Oh.
And you learned how to code on there, bro. That's what I think they took MySpace off too, because you used to be able to to bling out your fucking page, put songs on there.
Yeah.
And little we knew that was like you're coding. Because you would have to
want you to have that knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't teach them how to code. What the fuck y'all doing?
Yeah.
And because I was always tripping. I'm like, yeah, bro. It's like, now that I think about it, yeah, we were. Because I would go on websites and, just copy and paste this code and then put it up there. And then, and little did we know we were over here fucking, you could create an internet page and shit.
Yeah.
They said, nope, not for free, buddy.
Dude, I remember the first computer my parents bought me. I was probably, I want to say like 6th, 7th grade. And you would sit there and code a whole page of shit.
Shit.
And then once you finally did it, it would just make this balloon like float across. And that was it. But at the time, that was like something. You know what I'm saying? But looking back on that, it's like, what
The fuck?
Yeah. And I mean, same thing with the video games, like playing Pong or something like that, Space Invaders. Those games were so fucking simple compared to what, now.
What we got now is insane.
Yeah.
Graphics are fucking
I feel
ridiculous.
like right now we're right on the cusp of the virtual reality thing where you're playing the game. You can feel like you just had sex with some chick.
Yeah.
I mean, you can like do drugs in the game and be high. I mean, like all that shit's coming to where you're just going to sit there just all day, just zoned out in that thing. And that's,
Fuck yeah. You're going to be like Wally.
Sleep is just,
Fucking that cartoon Wally and shit. Just
it's crazy.
sitting there watching that shit. Boy.
yeah, what's to come, man.
Fuck,
It's crazy is, they say like China's, like 10 years ahead of us in technology. So
Yeah, their
Stuff like
technology
that's
is
already-
insane, man. Fucking go in the stores and you ain't got to pay shit. It's like, oh, facial recognition. Okay, we know who it is. Take it from his account. What the fuck? Shit like
But
that.
see, that all comes with a price.
Yeah.
Because if you're in trouble with them, if you speak out against the Chinese government,
Game over.
guess whose shit don't work when you walk in there? And it don't even matter if you got $1 million in the bank.
yeah,
If they're mad at you, you're fucked.
that's your credit.
Yeah, that's a scary
Your
part.
Well, see, I learned all this when COVID started. Like I was watching these videos about like where they thought COVID came out of that Wuhan market, and how in China you don't buy groceries like you do here. Like a lot of people I don't think realize this. You don't go and buy like a week or two or a month's worth of groceries and just stick them in the fridge. They basically, if you buy anything, you cook it that day or the next day, and that's it.
Ooh.
There's no like long-term
Stack
frozen
up, stack
section
up
of
on
shit.
groceries.
Yes, you're
Fresh,
basically buying
everything's-
fresh food daily. Which that's cool.
That makes sense.
But if somebody turns your shit off, you don't have a big stockpile of food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody told me right now, hey, you don't have any money, I could still eat out of my fridge and cabinets for weeks.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Not going to do that with that system.
Fuck. Unless they buy a big ass thing of rice.
I know, but I mean,
Yes,
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy though. that-
Fuck that.
Yeah, they a lot, over there too. It's based off how you act, how you treat others,
There you
they
go.
will turn your shit
There you
off.
go.
I mean, like you could be rude to somebody on the bus
and they know
and your
they'll
shit's
see it.
off.
Yep, and they'll be like, "Oh, all right, well, when you come try to get a car from us, or
Too
try to
bad,
get a car,
buddy.
you no credit." They said that's
Well,
that-
it's your
that's
social
your
credit
There you
score.
go.
your social
And if
credit
you
score.
socially act up, which where's the limit on that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
that's anybody's interpretation.
Yeah, exactly. But the motherfuckers, them hoodlums out there, boy, they don't get shit.
Hell
They
no.
don't get they probably barely get to buy the fucking food at the grocery store because.
Well, I mean, in China though, do you ever really hear about a lot of gangs or about a lot of violence? Or I mean, you don't hear that shit. Every now and
No.
then, somebody might go nuts and stab some people,
yeah,
but you don't
they-
ever hear
They
about
probably
like
do got 'em.
the
they-
crime we do.
Yeah, no, but yeah, they because they do. See, that's
What?
another thing that I think that in America don't talk about is the Asian mob, the
Yeah,
Asian mafia.
mafia.
Oh, the triad stuff.
You
Yeah,
know,
like
saying
San
like that shit's
Francisco.
real. Like like
Deep.
all the motherfuckers. They. All
But
the
see,
people in
is that
China,
really
they-
that? They're like in Hong Kong and Japan and Taiwan and those countries. See, I feel like
China,
China
too.
really puts the
Yeah.
fucking.
They
Well-
do, but China does too. I mean, they have their gangs.
Yeah,
So,
because I think it was because even with like the opium war and shit,
Mm-hmm.
when they had that, like that's what we talk about a lot. And I was telling them, I was like, bro, I swear China's still fighting the opium war, bro. And that's why they're fucking us with the fentanyl, But like with that shit, China did
They're
have.
probably mad that we went
you know-
into Afghanistan and took over the poppy fields.
And
So they
that's
were
it.
probably like, no problem. Here's some fentanyl coming straight from Mexico to
How
you
you
every
like
day.
that, buddy?
I mean, that's, I think shit
Yeah.
works like that.
Yeah, hell yeah. And so even in that time, I believe like whenever they had when they were making the railroads, like that's a lot of who built the railroads here in the US were Chinese, Irish people at the time because they were like, a lot of I've heard people say like, man, Irish people were the blacks back in
Well,
the
they
day.
called it
you know.
indentured servants, or they talked about you had to work off your passage over here.
There you go.
It was all the same shit, though.
Yeah.
Basically, you were brought here, and once you got here, you were slave labor,
Yeah, yeah.
one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Some might got treated different than others, but
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck
it
yeah.
went down different ways. There were different conditions, but overall, you were fucked.
Fuck yeah.
And
so-
I think a lot of people lose sight of that. They think that, like, only certain people were slaves, only certain
Yeah.
people had it bad. No,
Hell,
it was
fuck
it was
no.
worse than it is now. Because used to, there was really no middle class.
Mhm.
There was like a real small elite bunch of rich people,
And then poor people.
everybody else was a fucking peasant. And it was only in this country that we started inventing the middle class. And then when that happened, ever since then, it seems like a lot of people have just said, no, we don't need a middle class. Let's go back to super rich and everybody else is broke. And I feel like a lot of the liberal people, the left, they're so fucking delusional. They think they're going to be part of that rich group. And I'm thinking, no, bro, you're a school teacher.
Yeah.
You're not going
Yeah.
to be fucking rich.
They
You know,
don't want more
you
rich
work
people.
over at the fucking college as an assistant. You're not going to be rich. You know, you might think that you're intellectually superior to the guy that's driving that truck or this or that. But guess what, bro? You don't make any better money. You really don't have any better knowledge. You just think you fucking do. And you're kidding yourself when you start this class shit like, oh, let's be like a communist system. Let's be socialist. I mean, you're fucking delusional. Everybody gets fucked on that.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, ask anybody from Venezuela how good that worked
Fuck
out.
them.
You know
man.
what I'm saying? I
swear to
mean,
God,
this is the fucked up part. Even like there's probably a dozen or so families down there that probably really benefited from that at first.
Yeah.
But now they're all fucked.
Oh yeah.
It's horrible.
I mean, if you're in one of those families, you're probably in hiding because you're scared to death they're going to rip you into pieces in the streets right now.
Fuck yeah, it's horrible out there, man.
Yeah. I mean, that system completely fucks up countries. I mean, if you look back in history, any place where there was like mass genocide, mass suffering, starvation in the last couple hundred years, there was some asshole standing there saying, hey, let's do this for the people. We're socialists, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like nobody can grasp that. Like, I don't know if it's because they don't want to or because they just are so fucking ignorant. They just think, oh, well, there's just a magic pool of money out there and I want my chunk of it. You
A
know,
little bit of both, I think.
Yeah,
They're
it's
probably
just
little
crazy,
idiots,
though.
man.
that ain't happening, man. Ain't
Yeah.
everybody getting just hooked up.
Yeah, no.
Not long term, anyway. Maybe for a moment.
Yeah,
That's
they're
about it.
gonna make you feel good for a moment.
They'll
but-
give you crumbs, man.
Well, like when they gave everybody those COVID checks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody felt, oh, I'm balling.
Yeah. big
I
time.
saw how all of you were balling 6 months later.
You're like, I'll take that though. Shit, fuck it.
Yeah, no, it's
This is the thing. You could take all the money on the planet and redistribute it and just give it out evenly to everybody. And it would probably take about 2 or 3 months and it would all end up right back where it was.
It's just a big rotation.
I mean,
Yeah,
the people
spend it.
that have the money right now and control the money, they are the ones that are in position to suck that money right back from you, one way or another.
Yeah.
I mean, so
They find businesses like, how can we get this money back from these suckers? They fuck us. But yeah, no, that shit with Venezuela, man. I was gonna say, fucking, did you hear about that? How they fucking, there's a memo saying that their asses, like, because they don't have a lot of prison population right now.
yeah, they're all up here.
Yeah, because they sent their
They emptied them
motherfuckers
out.
over here. The cocksuckers sent them up here. I guess their president too ain't trying to get
Well,
out.
see, Cuba did the
Because-
same
Like,
shit.
no,
Back in the day, Cuba did that. That's what the whole basis of like Scarface was. Is he was a political prisoner, aka he was in fucking jail. They sent him to Miami, and then he became Tony Montana.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the same exact shit, except it's real life.
Yeah, it's happening for real now.
But yeah, that's horrible.
Now, he's not
That
want to
shit.
leave off. He's just like, nope.
Yeah, fuck that motherfucker.
Everyone, appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Ground Posse Pack Podcast Elevate Edition. We got, Davey, like anything you want to say?
I just appreciate you guys having me on again. Obviously, I'm interesting, or I wouldn't keep coming back.
Fuck yeah. Let them know. Hey, let them know where they can find you at, Dave.
Hey, I'm at Bombshells. I'm usually sitting there by myself most nights because it's dead as fuck here lately. So, anybody has any follow up questions, come see me.
Yeah.